Bellina Show, lunchtime, thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Lunchtime, ticket booth is open till 1 o'clock. Ticket booth, interesting. What is that? Well, it's where you win tickets to all the places you want to be. It's where you can win food, all the places you want to eat. And the ticket booth is thanks to Dixie Tire Company. They've been serving Bryan College Station. Is it like 36, 37, right in that zip code years now? Dixie Tire Company. Open Monday through Friday till 6 and Saturday till 1. I got a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. And I like to keep it simple. I like to think that participation gets you rewarded on the Louie Bellina Show. You text questions, comments, opinions. Participation on the Louie Bellina Show, like I said, I think, gets you rewarded. All your text messages from noon, 12:00 to 1:00, that's your registration. We'll blind draw later on today. Somebody's going to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Text. You got till 1 o'clock. I mean, you could text any time. You could text any guest. You could text about anything. But texting till 1, that's your registration. Ticket booth is open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. Buckyball, Aggie baseball, wine, whiskey, beer, Astros, greatest team ever. Whatever you want. Whatever's on your mind. Dallas Stars. Them and the Lanch have to go to shootouts on Friday. And the Lanch wins a shootout. Oh, geez, really? Whatever works for you. That's but only if, you like barbecue and you like to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's. A couple of text messages here. Let me go to the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Randy in College Station. What Bucky has achieved as a first-year coach, especially with a zero-based roster put together so late in the process, is pretty incredible. Would not be surprised with a buckyball team when it's clicking, making it at least through 1 or 2 rounds of the tournament. When it's clicking, they do 27-3 runs. When it's clicking, teams get overwhelmed and it's like quicksand. They try and fight against it and it makes it only worse. When buckyball is clicking, it's as electric as anything I've watched in an Aggie basketball uniform. Yeah, when buckyball is clicking, we haven't seen it go against, maybe Florida is the only top 5 team they've played this year. But the Florida, the height, and it was the 180 degrees away from clicking. We didn't get to see the best of buckyball against a top 5 team to see what that would look like. So anyway, just know, can they win a round or 2? I don't know if the fatigue shape they're in, because again, I do think that's a storyline. I don't know if they can fight back against the number 1 team. I think they can win their opening round game. I don't care if they're at 10 or a 9 or an 8. Absolutely. Aggie basketball, buckyball, SEC tournament. They play Thursday night, 8:30. Last team of a 4-game session. They're going to play the winner of South Carolina, Oklahoma. They should beat either team, but with you already in, is roster load management. That's what the pro athletes call it. What's a higher priority? Winning that game or load management? Rashawn Agee played 40, how many minutes? 7 minutes against LSU. Is it more important for Rashawn Agee to be rested? Is it more important for him to be healthy for the NCAA tournament than trying to win the SEC tournament? And I'm not saying he doesn't play, but he played 47 minutes. And you saw he couldn't even jump off the ground by the end. He was dragging himself to the sideline during timeouts. He was zombie mode, right? Is it more important that you have minute limits on certain players versus the scoreboard? You follow what I'm saying? And it's not that you're trying to lose. You're not throwing games. But other things might be more important than I have to win this on a Thursday night. Now, hold on. don't actually have the usual midweek because you're not playing Tuesday or Wednesday. There is an extra day of rest. But if you win, then you're playing back-to-back days, which doesn't seem like the most desirable for this team right now. And you're going to have the people that say, Lou, you're an idiot. If you suit up, you play to win. Shut up. Do what you got to do. Win 3 games. Be playing on Sunday. Win 4 games. Okay. I get it. There's 2 ways this storyline can go. But man, Aggie just played 47 minutes. How long until the few guys that have legs left can kind of go jelly leg themselves? Another text message from the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Jer Mills. Jer, hope I got your first name right. Jer Mills says, Lou, that's me. Really enjoying Aggie basketball this year. I think we all are, man. Oh, it's Jer, class of 75, OG style. Really enjoying Aggie basketball this year. A shout out to John Thornton. He played his last Aggie basketball game over 50 years ago, averaging 10 points a game that year. And I think he's been involved in the program ever since. Gig 'em, John. I'll tell you this much. I love hearing him call. And I love hearing him talk Aggie basketball, that's for sure. I think he's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And it doesn't matter which role we're talking about. Because I heard him with Chip. I've heard him on Texags. I hear him, of course, calling the games. And he's phenomenal to listen to. So Aggie hoops in the SEC tournament, right? Don't play till Thursday. Got that bye, which is an extra day of rest. They play the last session on that day too, which, okay, they have a mandatory 25 minutes after the next game. The game is at 6 o'clock. That will start on time. Basketball, due to officiating, is 2:30, 2:40, so 8:30 plus 25 minutes. So I'm thinking that their game will tip off like 8:50, 9 o'clock. So their game will end 11:30, almost midnight on Thursday. Win, and you play the same time against Arkansas on Friday. The Saturday games, I mean, do they want to play 2 or 3? That Bucky knows his team. He'll make that decision. And again, you don't throw things. Like I said, do you have a load management philosophy towards the tournament, knowing you're already in the NCAAs? And the same thing, if you were to win 2 games, play Thursday, Friday, you wouldn't play till Thursday, Friday the next week. You'd have recovery time built in if you really want to look at it. 979-693-1150. We're going to switch now to the rest of the Maroon and White universe, the rest of the Maroon and White notebook. It was breaking news some hours ago. Now it's just news, but expected this. And now that you see it, you're kind of like, whoop. Texas A&M volleyball head coach Jamie Morrison agreed to a contract extension through 2031. A national championship will do that for you, do that to you. I know for me, I can't say I go to the Aggie volleyball games, but it was so much fun to hear from my sports fans how many of them did. Like, I had 2 of my friends who both revealed to me, like, hey, I have season tickets to Aggie volleyball. And I was like, really? Like, just, they never talked about it, but once the role started and reality started kicking in and they're making plans how to travel, to the Final Four, travel to the national championships. And I'm one of those people who gets happy for their friends. And to see the pure joy and excitement for them that this run created. And I know I got into it, but that's from the afar. I'm not going to jumped on the bandwagon greatest moment. For them, though, it was, and that created so much joy for me. I love that. I love that for my friends. I love that for them. I love that for all the Aggie volleyball fans. And it was exciting as the guy who came in when it, as it became reality. And they had to defeat like the history of volleyball. They had to beat like 3 number ones or 4 number ones? They went on a run that borderline absolutely pretty much unprecedented. It was insane. Beautiful. So, yeah. Just saying that's pretty incredible to me anyway. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Aggie baseball, we've kind of mentioned this. Sweeping Oakland 6-3 game 1 Friday, 10-2 game 2. 12-1 was the final on the single game on Saturday. Weather caused the doubleheader Friday. They moved, and man, did it just open up from the heavens? Like, was it 5-10 minutes after the game ended on Saturday? You talk about the right call. That game would have lasted even 10-15 minutes more, because when it opened up Saturday, you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you on the road. It got nasty quick, and it didn't rain for a long time, but the rain we did have was long enough and intense. I mean, and intense. It was nuts. But Aggie swept Oakland in their final non-con weekend. It's SEC play. What the midweek is SFA on Tuesday. They get Oakland. They finished up with Oakland. They go to Norman to take on the Sooners over the weekend. But game 1 was 6-3. Shen Sadeo went 7-3, kept him under 100 pitches. Brilliant bullpen. Vargas into Freshcorn. Freshcorn got a second save. Caden Sorrell hit his 7th homer of the year. The second game, bats weren't messing around. 5 spot in the first, 3 in the second. Ended that one quickly. Weston Moss went 6, gave up a run. 63 pitches only. Perfect bullpen. Run rule, 10-2. Kept that simple. Got the dub. Again, Grahovic goes yard. Kellner goes yard. Less than 24 hours, a lot less than. 11 a.m. on Saturday, 12-1. 6-run fourth. Pretty much the heart of it. Sorrell, yard. Partita, yard. Blake Binderup, he had a great day. Binderup goes 2 for 4, 3 RBIs in the game. Sorrell goes 3 for 3, including the home run, 3 RBIs. Grovic has 3 hits. Aiden Sims, brilliant. He's been nothing but brilliant to start. And they get the sweep. Pretty straightforward. D1 baseball did their top 25 rankings because, well, they do every week. Aggie stayed at 22. Pretty straightforward. Aggie stayed at 22. This is where I miss Mitch Light. I looked forward to, I really wanted to do the college baseball roundup because the whole LSU lost 3 games last week. The midweek, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to Sacramento State. And we're not going to say that they're a bad team, awful team, but obviously some struggles to start the year. And they finally moved out of number 2 or 3 in the country, which was where they were in almost every poll. And D1 at least put them at 13, dropping 10, 11 spots. A&M number 22. If you want to talk D1 baseball top 25, UCLA number 1, Texas number 2, Mississippi State 3, G-Tech is 4, there's Arkansas at 5. So 3 of the top 5 teams in the country. SEC. Auburn 6, Southern Miss 7, Georgia 8. The Aggies, when they go to Norman over the weekend, will take on the number 9 team in the country. NC State is 10. Other teams of note, there's LSU at 13. There's TCU at 17. Tennessee at 19. Kentucky at 21. Aggies 23. And there's Florida at 23. So that's the top 25 D1 baseball edition, D1 baseball kind of breakdown. Again, A&M holding steady. I'm not sure where you're at with Aggie baseball. I'm ready for league play to begin. I'm ready for the SEC to begin. I'm ready to see the challenges begin because I'm ready for titles. I'm ready for meaningful. This has been practice. This has been building. That's what non-con is. They have passed. I guess what? They couldn't beat the number 1 team in the country, which That's their only loss. And UCLA is the bona fide undisputed number one. Doesn't even bother me. I feel like they've passed every test with kind of an A grade. The pitching staff, the bullpen, the power, the offense. Now it's time to put it all to work. Now it's time to put it to test. Going to Norman, top 10 team now in the country, according to D1 Baseball, Oklahoma. So road test, top 10 team. Yeah, I'm ready for the real data points to start rolling in. Let's take a timeout. I do want to remind you, you have 45 minutes left to text. If you text, you're registered. If you text, that's your chance. Saying there's a chance, I'm saying there's a chance to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Everyone that texts, you're auto-registered. I'll blind draw once we hit 1 o'clock. It's the Louie Bellina Show. Oh, and the ticket booth is open thanks to Dixie Tire Company. It's the Louie Bellina Show, Monday edition, presented by CC Electric. I'll be right back.
Be in the know about the Louie Bellina Show.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Follow at Louie B1150. That's at Louie B1150.
Follow us on Twitter.
The Louie Bellina Show, rolling along, having a little fun. Giving away a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue thanks to Dixie Tire Company. The Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. Support comes from Mark Sim. We're talking about if you're hanging out with Charles Schwab. Mark Sim is right here in College Station. He is the Charles Schwab Ranch right here in College Station. I mean, he's got other people with him. Schwab offers a modern approach to wealth management, which means Mark Sim offers a modern approach to wealth management. They have the financial planning to meet your specific needs. Why'd you call them? Why'd you look them up? They got you covered. But they, Charles Schwab, Mark Sim, have the flexibility to adapt as those needs change with time. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. You can text 40 minutes left. Get yourself registered to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Okay. I had to share this with you. Saw it, internet thing. It's from On3, but it spread because it's just funny. I mentioned a week ago that the NCAA has approved, and Arkansas is the first program I saw cash in on this, that you can now put patches on the uniform. Sponsorship. And Arkansas did Tyson Foods, which, duh, it should have been Walmart or Tyson Foods. It's a natural tie-in for them. And On3, I believe it was Andy Staples. I didn't do every program, but man, he did most of the P4. Again, and it's half funny, and half of it is kind of natural, logical tie-ins. Half funny, like Baylor is obvious. It's Dr. Pepper. Now, will these corporations, these businesses do them? Don't know. I don't know if they believe in college athletics as a sponsorship way. Would they pay? Would some of them expect a local discount when the fact of the matter is that this patch needs to be the most maximized sponsorship that every university sells? I don't know. Like, you need your Nike that wants to pay you $1 billion. They're just looking for ways, and they're willing to overpay for the patch, not local discounts. So I don't know. It's fascinating to me. But so Arkansas already has their patch. It's Tyson Foods. Baylor recommended was Dr. Pepper. And to me, that's a no-brainer. The BYU one, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if the church doesn't want it, then the crumble cookies, which, yeah, that one I could see. That one I think would have more of the national appeal and could appeal to recruits and stuff. Florida, oh yeah, Gatorade. But did you know that NVIDIA, AI company and more, right? Their co-founder graduated from Gatorade. I actually think that would be, you want NVIDIA to be on the patch more than Gatorade. But Gatorade in the sports context, cool. But no, I think you'd want NVIDIA on the patch. The Florida State recommendation, that made me, okay, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And I don't know how in bed, I mean, gambling and sports right now are not just in bed. I mean, they're having relations, but are we at the point where we can let a casino patch? I mean, it's legal, right? A casino owns the naming rights to Arizona Stadium. A casino, I don't know if you know this, pays Oklahoma to advertise on their field. So why not the patch? For Florida State, come on, man. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel Casino is kind of a no-brainer. I did not know this, but the Spanx founder, Sarah Blakely, graduated from Florida State. So I guess if they can't get the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel Casino, Spanx, yeah, would be their patch. Now, Georgia was fascinating to me. Did you know that Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Delta, and Chick-fil-A are all Georgia-based companies? And all of them already invest in college football sponsorships. So Georgia-based and all college football already. And Georgia is the premier, the elite of them all in the state of. Would Georgia, Kirby have their pick? Like all of them would want that patch? And if you can get Coca-Cola, that's like the Rolls Royce, the elite of all the elites, right? For the patch. It'd be, but if you got any of them, but Coke, come on. LSU made me chuckle. They said like Woodside Energy. Everyone else would probably think Raising Cane's. I would say if you're LSU, pick a children's hospital you stole money from and at least give them the patch name. At least give them the patch name. That's just me. Give those poor kids something from, the money they've donated. Louisville is my favorite, by the way. KFC. You got to go with it. Now, you notice I'm saving A&M for last. I think when I say it, it's the most obvious. I don't think anyone would fight this. I think it would be the one that would make $1 billion. No, not just from the actual who this company brand is that will pay for the patch, but what it would mean. I think this would be $1 billion long-term investment. First, though, the University of Texas, and I went, of course, because they're Texas. You know who their patch corporate tie-in is? None. And they're the only one that has none. And it's not because nobody wants to pay for the Texas brand patch. It's because the Longhorn AD, Chris Del Conte, has said, quote, "What are we now? NASCAR." And this was during a town hall meeting with the fans last week. Texas thinks maybe they're too good and they don't want to NASCAR it up, and they have enough money. They probably don't have to be fair. But I would maybe go a different direction with this, and this could be another example like Texas stubbornly starting their own network and having it fail. Oh, they got paid early, but it was a dumb idea towards the end. But even more so than that, they thought they could be a one-team league and had to join the SEC. Like, does anyone else realize how far behind Texas has been kind of in everything? How they've miscalculated. They didn't think losing their relationship with A&M was going to affect them. They didn't think having the SEC come into the state was going to affect them. They thought having their own network was their insurance. They've been wrong fairly consistently about every single thing. Now, they're so big that their course corrections are not seismic. They joined the SEC. They're in back-to-back college football playoffs. Well, one was at the end of the Big 12. I got to be fair about everything, but they're so big, and the way they have the money to play the game now. Look, they got Cam Coleman and more. That's just the life of the Longhorns. But they've been wrong, dead wrong about almost everything. So if they don't need the patch, they'll come around after being wrong again. But I'll move off of that. Do I even have to ask what you think the A&M patch should be? Who do you want? It's obvious. It's easy. I mean, I can't even lie to you. Like, I knew it before I guessed. And it would make $1 billion. It would raise A&M's brand. People in Chinese Taipei Africa, Czechoslovakia will buy this jersey. Buc-ee's. That Buc-ee logo now on A&M, jerseys, on the field, on TV, available in merch stores. Everybody wants Buc-ee stuff. And now you pair it. You are going to sell across the world 12th man Buc-ee patched jerseys, t-shirts, hats, anything you can imagine. I'll just simply say I think it would be bigger than just the money they paid for the patch, but the merchandising potential of it all. They even write it as their last summary quote, Texas A&M jersey featuring the Buc-ee's beaver would fly off the shelves everywhere. I think across the world. Of all these partnerships, it'd probably be the most international. Yeah, across the world, I think, of all of them. Maybe I'm getting carried away, but I don't think so. And I think there's a lot of Aggie fans, old Army, and then old Army, and then the oldest Army, who the idea of patching on uniforms is offensive because back when they were students in 1922, the games were in black and white and the helmets had one bar. There were no patches. So if it didn't exist then, it shouldn't exist now. They still can't believe there's women at the university, right? So they're going to be opposed to patches, even though it's modern. Every dollar counts. That patch money can buy you the quarterback you win a national championship or the wide receiver to make your quarterback happy. I mean, yeah, you need the money. Buc-ee's might be the kind of business, though, to make it digestible. They might go to Buc-ee's twice a year, and it's the highlight of their years. Those are the kind of partnerships, sponsorships that can help people that hate things not hate this. For old Army, oldest Army, and the old Army, older Army, and the oldest Army. I'm not joking. Buc-ee's can be the one to make this happen. So, yeah, the partner for A&M's patch, easy call, right, is Buc-ee's. And, okay, Arch Beaver Applin, the visionary who asked, and this is the On3 write-up, the visionary who asked, what if I made a gas station the size of a Walmart, is a Texas A&M grad who just committed $60 million to create a new campus center to train students in hospitality fields. That's all they needed to say, right? And yeah, the possibility what merch sales would be of all the A&M, jerseys with Buc-ee patches, I would like to see that too. 979-693-1150. Kevin in BCS, LSU should have been one of the easiest to pick for a patch. He said Popeyes. Popeyes Raising Cane's. Again, I just say pick a children's hospital you took money from and give back to the kids. This is the Louie Bellina Show, and I'll be right back. It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, and industrial services. It's what they do at CC Electric. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Monday on The Zone.
ESPN Radio has the score. The score. Check in weeknights and weekends here on The Zone. The Zone.
It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Free estimates, military and veteran discounts, they do at CC Electric. We're at halftime, 12:36 on a Monday here on the Louie Bellina Show. We'll be hanging out at 2 o'clock still to come. Final hour, going to do an Aggie baseball listen-in the players. After the games, I speak to the media, and you can hear after the doubleheader, Weston Moss, Terrence Keel, and then Caden Sorrell kind of wraps up the weekend. So we'll Aggie baseball listening, the players. What did they have to say? Also, text messages. Got 23 minutes left to give yourself a chance to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. The ticket booth is open. That's thanks to Dixie Tire Company. And today, just giving away a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. It is spring break out there in the universe, right? That's the rumor I have heard. Tournament, SEC tournament week, NCAA tournament next week. Buckyball, the team, beat the hell out of just everyone. I'm riding high. It's all I've wanted. Spent 3 months. And again, when SEC play started, the expectation, the thought process is Could they win 6 games? Man, if they won 8. Right? 6, maybe 8. Maybe 8. 8 would be, and if they finished 500, it might be one of the most incredible coaching jobs in the history of, college basketball. Nope, 11. NCAA tournament. Do not lose perspective. Just remember. Do not lose perspective. Just remember. Anthony in Bryan College Station texted and said, if it was legal, LSU would be a beer or liquor company like Abita. I think it's legal. I mean, is it illegal? Remember, the NCAA rules have changed to the degree. I don't know what's illegal anymore. I mean, gambling advertising is legal. I mentioned that with, Florida State and the Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Oklahoma has on their field casino stuff, right? And there's others. I don't know the rules about alcohol advertising because it used to be a hard no-no, but there's official beer sponsors of stuff. So just saying, and there's always the official beer of on the college level. So I think you can. I don't know why you cannot. I have another text message from Bill. Lou, that's me. Remember that AD Albers? I'll go with Alberts, but he said Albers has hired most of the successful Aggie coaches. Thank you for the reminder, Bill. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Matt in College Station said, Lou, not worried about results in Nashville. Managing minutes of key players is more important. And again, I'm wondering about SEC tournament if load management, winning the tournament, win the first one, load management, the second one with no game Tuesday, Wednesday, extra day of rest this week. And even if they play Thursday of next week, would be no Tuesday, Wednesday again, extra day of management next week. Because those are the kind of things, the coach has the meta, the bigger picture of all of it. And you have the extra day this week, the extra day next week, because you don't play Tuesday, Wednesday, like you do in SEC league play. And the earliest you'd play in the NCAA tournament is if you get a Thursday, Saturday, you might be Friday, Sunday, but you still don't play Tuesday, Wednesday. You do have travel because you have to go out 2 days early to your site for practice and media obligations. So, yeah, what is the point? Is it to try and win 3 games in 3 days? Or is it 4 games in 4 days and win it all? I've been clear. I'm not going to go down my usual rant. I hate conference tournaments, every sport. The idea of burning yourself out to play a horrible, dumb format right before the NCAA tournament, baseball, softball, basketball, does not make sense to me. I don't get why. At all. At all. I know most coaches, if there's a trophy, a title, a bid, if we're going to show up, let's win. But 4 games in 4 days, 5 games in 5 days, 4 games in 5 days, right before the NCAA tournament, I don't know of a sport that's optimal in. So I'm not a fan of conference tournaments. So that's some of the text messages from inside the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Those are some of the people that have a chance to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. You got 19 minutes left to text. Maroon and White notebook. There's just a lot going on. Spring is beautiful. Spring is beautiful. Aggie softball weird weekend. They were playing like they were going to play originally before the weather came in the San Marcos Invitational, Texas State hosting. They lost their game Saturday, Sunday. They had 2 games on Friday. They played Tarleton State, destroyed them 15-2. Maya Perez, yard. Grace Sparks, starting pitcher, got the dub and, took care of business. And then they, I will say, shockingly, stunningly, what happenedly, lost to Texas State in the second game, the host. They only had 4 hits, lost 3-1. I did not see that happening. And now they had no game Saturday, Sunday. They have no midweek scheduled. They return to action. SEC play begins next weekend. They're on the road at LSU, and it's those bizarre, hate them Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. They do that for the SEC network. There's always, every weekend, there's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every weekend. And A&M LSU will be this upcoming weekend. They're all night games, all primetime TV. It's great stuff. Everyone can watch them if you want. But stunningly lost to Texas State 3-1. Starting pitcher Sidney Peters, 4 innings only, gave up the 3 hits. Aggie offense kind of MIA in a shocking loss before they head into SEC play. I haven't seen the latest softball D1. I did see the latest Softball America Top 25, and Aggie softball, 22 in the country at 17-8. 22 in the country at 17-8. Rest of the Maroon and White notebook. Been watching a lot of social media stuff. I think A&M's athletic department, this is the peak and the best they've ever been in social media ever in the history of the athletic department. You can tell it's a point of emphasis. It's really fun. It's enjoyable. I like it. And it doesn't matter in what aspect of that statement. And it's little simple things like some players have done jersey switches, and normally the way it would work, I'll take football, for example. And the first day of spring practice, we would get a new roster. And then the media would have to take last year's roster and then compare it. And then all of a sudden, you'd have 25 million Twitter posts about, oh, it appears that X, Y, and Z have released. That you'd get nothing. There'd be no announcements, right? Well, we live in a world where why not post the New Jersey number? You can have AI just put the New Jersey on the player. It's kind of colorful and it's cool. Kids love it that it's being celebrated for them. But these things used to never be done. It's content. And I've noticed that A&M and Twitter, Facebook, and there's Dalton Brooks with a 7. Ashton Bethel Romans an 8. I think Terry Bussey changed his jersey number 2. And it's not a major deal. I don't think this equals one more win or loss, but that's my point. The social media game is so stepped up. And it's doing all the little things. It's fun things. It keeps your attention. And if you're an Aggie football fan, you're like, oh, jersey number, that's cool. It's just feeding the machine. And these are things that Aggie athletics never did. Why? I don't know. I see it and I kind of smile and go, oh, on the game. And I noticed that end of last week into the weekend. I'm sure there's more. It's the little things, folks. It's the little things. Maroon and White notebook, NFL draft, updated all over the place. But post-combine mocking of drafts. No one's higher on the Aggies than PFF, if you want to know. Their latest mock, KC Concepcion, San Fran 27, Howells 29. They did a 3-rounder. Basantes goes top 10 to Cleveland in round 2. And they have Demetrius Crown over round 3. New England Patriots, but once you project round 3, the team's not important. Other Aggies, big board, Trey Zune, 136 overall. Demetrius Crown over 156 overall. Armaj Reed Adams, 182 overall. Nobody's higher on Aggies. PFF loves them. I took a look at the athletic mock draft. One Aggie in the first round. Concepcion. Concepcion is unanimous consensus. I have not seen a mock draft. It doesn't matter the who, the alphabet soup, ABC, ESPN, CBS. Take ABC out. That is ESPN. The Athletic Athlon. Concepcion is first round in every mock. I've caught a couple, and the Athletic is an example, that Cassius Howell, not in it now. That will not happen. I would not. This year, there seems to be a narrative. And that narrative is 6 offensive tackles and maybe 6 wide receivers. That's going to be the position of choices. So that's 12 That's almost half. It's not quite. You understand, though. Those positions are going to be gobbled up and destroyed in the first round, which might put certain other positions, regardless of where you rank overall, pushing them out of the first round. There's little things like that happen. I don't see Concepcion sliding out of teams that look at him and go, our defense has trouble getting to the quarterback, and we're a player away from the Super Bowl, and we're picking at 20x. No, I don't see that at all. And also, I'll say this for the 100th time too. When the first trade, second trade, third trade, fourth trade happen, all the mock drafts get completely destroyed and turned into ash. And there's always multiple trades in the first round of the draft. Let me take a timeout, come back. We'll wrap up our lunch hour together. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. It is the Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio, Monday on The Zone.
This is Bryan College Station's home for Texags, Louie, and Jim. The Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
The Louie Bellina Show. I'm sorry, you heard the chuckle there, and I got a text message from the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. And at Texas Mobile and Lube Express, they say be good to your car, and your car will be good to you. Rob Meyer. And he says, praying for our Aggie basketball teams. Go kick some butt. And there's this just image in my head, your couch, remote next to you, maybe a pizza box and icy cold beverage of choice, and in the name of the Naismith and the Bucky, amen, kind of praying for the basketball teams, go kick some butt. That's pretty intense is all I'm saying. Go kick some butt, absolutely. I feel like everything's house money with Bucky ball. I hope they win the first game, second game, third game, fourth game, fifth game, sixth game. Talking about the NCAA tournament. I'm not goalpost switching. Like, if they lose in the first round, you're not going to hear sadness and tragedy, disappointment, and all the stuff that I think others are going to go for. He took a team. Man, do we have to repeat the whole resume every time? He inherited one player, non-scholarship. He returned 0.001%. He came in portal, pretty much done. Best player, tried to go, could not. And I mean, NBA prospect. Went 2-6 in the month of February, won the last two. No players over 6'7", 6'8". Goes on, right? And he got 11 SEC dubs. Conference that'll have the most or tied for the most teams in the NCAA tournament. He is the SEC Coach of the Year. If you want to say Golden, knock yourself out. I'm not going to fight you over it. He's already went and kicked some butt. I'd love to see them win that first game, but I'm already at the point of the epic toot, and nothing will tarnish that. Chris in Somerville texted and said, in year 3, you'd think Coach Ford would have a more solid squad. She portaled and has been portaling since she got here. And I think, and she's not, okay, she hasn't had money like Tech, where they just go buy 4 All-Americans. And if you're not going to buy all the guaranteed players, there's a little more variance, I think. It doesn't mean the squad's dead in the water. It just means that, look, there's so much more room to go that we don't know what they are until the NCAA tournament starts. Maybe they're a 500 SEC team this year. But once the tournament starts, it's completely different. And I remember when she got hired, I looked at her Arizona State. Her favored teams at ASU, if I remember right, actually didn't advance as far as her unfavored team. So, and when you say in year 3, losing your former All-American ace, there seemed to be some restructuring. She lost almost her entire offense. There was a lot that she had to rebuild from last year. So, yeah, it's a different kind of year 3. I'll be right back.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Presented by Polaris Fun Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country, and Aggie Land is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone. Polaris Fun Center sells and service Polaris ATVs, Rangers, Razors, Global Electric Cars, Brutus, and the Polaris Slingshot. Polaris Fun Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays 2 to 4 here on the Zone.